Disclaimer: this audio recording includes subtitles so you can follow along more intentionally and absorb the ideas at your own pace. Reality. It seems so obvious, so solid. You wake up, you go to work, you eat, talk, feel, think. But what is this thing we call reality? But what if reality is a lie? What if the world you experience every day, the sights, the sounds, the sense of being, is just a carefully crafted illusion? Not just a dream or deception, but a filtered, edited, constructed version of something much deeper, much stranger? In this video, we unravel the hidden layers of reality through the lenses of philosophy, science, and psychology. Inspired by Martin Heidegger's groundbreaking work Being and Time, and backed by the latest insights from quantum physics and neuroscience, we ask the questions most people are too afraid to ask. Before we start, if you're the kind of person who loves questioning the world, challenging assumptions, and seeing things from new angles, hit that like button to boost the convo, and subscribe so you don't miss the deep stuff we're dropping here. Because we're just getting started. What if reality is a lie? Philosophers have wrestled with this for centuries. Plato imagined us as prisoners in a cave, mistaking shadows on the wall for truth. Descartes wondered if an evil demon was deceiving his every sense. Are we experiencing the world as it is, or just as it appears to us? What we perceive, what we think is real, is just a filtered version of vast, incomprehensible data. Our brains edit, reduce, simplify. Time, space, even the solidity of matter, are not as stable as they seem. Some scientists and philosophers now argue that reality might be a simulation. Maybe advanced civilizations are running the universe like a cosmic video game. But whether it's a matrix, a dream, or a divine illusion, one thing remains clear. The real world might not be the final layer. Martin Heidegger, in Being and Time, argued that we've forgotten the most fundamental question. Not what is real, but what does it mean to be? Reality, Heidegger says, isn't something we look at from a distance. We're not spectators. We're immersed in it, entangled. We don't just exist in a world. We are being in the world. And yet, we rarely notice it. We drift through routines, lost in distractions, shaped by what they say, what they do. We take the world for granted, as if it's self-explanatory. But beneath the surface of the ordinary, something strange pulses. Time isn't what we think it is. Objects aren't just things. And we are not just minds trapped in bodies. Heidegger invites us to see reality not as a collection of things, but as a way of being, a relationship, a tension, a mystery unfolding in every moment. So before we ask, what is the nature of reality? We must ask a deeper, more unsettling question. Are we even awake to the fact that we exist at all? We like to believe that what we see, hear, and touch is the truth. But human perception is not a window to reality. It's a filter, a translation, and often a distortion. In Being and Time, Heidegger challenges the idea that we encounter the world objectively. We don't passively observe reality, we interpret it. We're always already in a context, with goals, fears, assumptions. We see what we're looking for. We miss what we don't expect. We don't just perceive the world, we project ourselves onto it. This isn't just philosophy. In The User Illusion, Tor Nordstranders reveals that our senses take in millions of bits of information per second. But consciousness, it processes only a fraction. What we call reality is already an edited version, curated by the brain to keep us sane, not informed. So what happens to the truth that doesn't fit our filters? Even time, which we treat as a steady flow, breaks down under scrutiny. Heidegger says time isn't just a measurement. It's the way we experience being. Our sense of past, present, and future is shaped by our concerns, our plans, our mortality. Perception, then, isn't neutral. It's shaped by our culture, our habits, our technology, even by language. We think we're seeing the world, but more often, we're seeing our own reflection in it. So before we trust our senses, we should ask, are we seeing reality, or just the shape our minds have carved into it? Reality. It's something we think we know, but even the greatest minds have struggled to define it. Philosophically, reality has been debated for millennia. Plato, in his allegory of the cave, suggested that what we see is only the shadow of the true world, hidden from us by our senses. Descartes, in Meditations on First Philosophy, took it further. What if everything we perceive is the result of a deceiving force? For Descartes, the only certainty was the thought itself. I think, therefore I am. But Heidegger pushes beyond this, arguing that being isn't an abstract idea to be pondered. It's something we experience every moment. Reality is not just an object of thought. It's something we live. Scientifically, our understanding of reality has evolved dramatically. In physics, Einstein shattered our previous notions of space and time with his theory of relativity, showing that time can warp and bend depending on velocity and gravity. Time isn't the same for everyone, everywhere. Meanwhile, quantum mechanics has taken this even further, suggesting that particles exist in multiple states at once, only collapsing into one reality when we observe them. In The Fabric of the Cosmos, Brian Greene argues that the very fabric of reality, time, space, matter, is far stranger than we could have ever imagined. Our universe, in all its vastness, might even be one of many in a multiverse, each with its own rules and properties. Psychologically, we know that our perception of reality is deeply flawed. Our brains create a model of the world based on sensory input, but that model is a simplification, an approximation. In The User Illusion, Tor Noritranders explains how the conscious mind is like an illusionist, tricking us into thinking we have control, when in fact much of our perception is automatic, operating beneath the surface. Heidegger touches on this, too, when he describes how we're thrown into the world. We don't experience reality in isolation. We're always entangled in the concerns of our lives, our social roles, our routines. And this, being in the world, means we often miss the deeper truth that lies beyond our surface-level perceptions. So, whether through philosophy, science, or psychology, one thing is clear. Our understanding of reality is incomplete. The world we think we know is only a fraction of the whole. But what if, by questioning these limits, we could glimpse the true nature of existence? What if we could see beyond the filters of our minds, to something more fundamental, more authentic? What if everything you know about reality, everything you believe to be true, is based on a lie? It might sound extreme, but what if the world you perceive isn't the world that actually is? In Being in Time, Heidegger suggests that we're constantly distracted by what he calls the they, the anonymous voices of society, culture, and tradition that shape how we see the world. We think we understand reality, but in truth, we're often living in a version of it that others have built for us. And the deeper mystery? We rarely even notice. But here's the kicker. Quantum mechanics throws the entire notion of objective reality into question. According to the famous double-slit experiment, light and matter don't behave in fixed ways until they're observed. Before you look at them, particles exist in a state of pure potential, behaving as both particles and waves at the same time. It's only when you observe them that they collapse into a specific state. This isn't a quirky feature of the experiment. It's a fundamental aspect of reality itself. The universe behaves differently depending on whether or not we're watching it. What does that mean for our understanding of the world? It means reality might not exist the way we think it does when we're not looking. It challenges everything we assume about how the universe works. But it gets even stranger. In the realm of neuroscience, we know that our brains don't simply record reality, they construct it. You think you're experiencing the world as it is, but in truth, your brain is constantly predicting what will happen next, and then interpreting sensory input based on those predictions. In The User Illusion, Tor Noritranders explains that only a fraction of what we experience is actually real in the traditional sense. The rest is a mental model, pieced together from limited information. What you perceive as reality is, in fact, a carefully crafted illusion. And here's the profound insight. Your perception of reality is not only incomplete, but it's also inherently distorted. Heidegger, too, saw this as part of the human condition. We are always thrown into a world that we didn't choose, filled with assumptions and expectations that cloud our true understanding of existence. We are caught in the flow of life, constantly moving between past and future concerns, never fully present to the raw reality of now. So, what if the most real thing about reality isn't something we can see or touch? What if it's the very awareness that we can't see the whole picture, that we're only catching glimpses, never the full view? What if the true nature of reality lies beyond the grasp of our senses and our mind's constant filtering? What if it's something we can only truly experience once we stop trying to define it so tightly? We've explored how reality isn't as simple or as solid as we tend to think. We started with the question, what is reality? For centuries, philosophers like Plato and Descartes have questioned the very nature of the world we perceive, suggesting that what we see is merely an illusion. Heidegger takes this further, proposing that our perception is shaped by our existence itself. We don't just observe the world, we're immersed in it, always projecting meaning onto it, always interpreting it. Science, too, reveals just how strange reality really is. Einstein shattered our conventional understanding of time and space with relativity, showing that what we experience as fixed is anything but. Quantum mechanics challenges the very idea of an objective universe, suggesting that the world behaves differently depending on whether or not we observe it. And even our brains, as Tor Nordstranders explains, don't passively record the world. They actively create it, constantly filling in the gaps with predictions and assumptions. Psychologically, we're often lost in a version of reality that's shaped by culture, expectations, and routine. In Heidegger's view, we're so caught up in society's expectations, that we rarely experience reality as it truly is. We're living in a filtered, distorted version of the world, shaped by everything but ourselves. All of this suggests one thing. Reality is far more complex than we give it credit for. It's not something we passively receive. It's something we actively create and shape, influenced by our perceptions, our biases, our culture, and our existence itself. And the most profound insight? What we call reality is only a glimpse, a fragment of the whole. The true nature of existence may lie beyond our senses, beyond our understanding, just waiting for us to wake up to it. So, as you go through your day, remember, what you see may not be all there is. Reality, it seems, is not just out there. It's something you live, something you shape, something that's still unfolding. So what do you think? Is reality really just a construct of our minds? Or is there something deeper at play? Do you believe we're perceiving the world accurately? Or are we trapped in our own illusions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about the nature of reality and how these ideas resonate with you. And if you're curious to dive deeper into these mind-bending concepts, make sure to check out our next video where we explore the mysteries of quantum reality and the idea that we might be living in a simulation. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want more deep dives into faith, philosophy, and the questions that shape our lives. Thanks for watching, and keep thinking.